damage, he just gets the force. Now Tiger just gonna go down, but they trade the Uber. This is really big for CSG.
Yeah, just one player throwing in the single solo sack was enough to get the force out of June this time, and yeah, they have control of the second point. It's not an easy one to push out of. They're going to have loads of stickies, they're going to have potential back cap, they're going to have just all kinds of shenanigans going on, but so we'll just have to see. Looks like they're going to go for it. They're leaving a sentry gun back in last, which is risky, but we'll see how it goes.
Yep, Uber just comes straight in onto second here, but it just doesn't really find anything at all. Engineer's still up on last, but tf2easy doing such a good job of just jumping out, making sure no one goes down. And that Uber charge advantage that Condor did have just fades away. But Nasboy gets just taken down in house here. So now June has Uber charge advantage, but she's 90% all the way on middle. There is no demo man here for tf2easy, but CSG are not looking to chance this whatsoever. They're just staying back.
Yeah, because they waited for Tiger to spawn. Oh, nice little force from him now. They're actually taking the Uber in through the flank, but there's no one there. And actually, June is going to get caught out here. Loopy and Abs running forward. They catch Josh as well, and it's not going great. Fancy out, raining down damage onto this second point. They'll be in a position to maybe go for a sack, but Corndog is being escorted right now. The NW in the backlines is a threat.
He's a threat, but he's so far back now. He's playing it so slow, so safe rather. He has to get onto Condog somehow, but he's 100% right now, sitting in house. And they actually all just go back for him because this back cap is doing so much work. Finds the kill onto Loopy, but nothing more will come from that immediately, I say. But this gives tf2easy time to get back on middle. You see CSG, they're playing it so safe. They're setting up on second. They're waiting. They don't want to go forwards until they're absolutely certain. Instead, they're going to rotate into lower, in through Valley here in tf2easy. It's Josh taking a lot of damage early on. He can't really hold on to midpoint at all. Instead, spam coming across, and CSG walk forwards. They don't have to pop the Zuba. June, only 70%. She does not want to pop this.
Yeah, they're holding on to the Uber pretty nicely, but June will just about have now. See, actually see that last play, Nubby having that pain train meant he got a lot more cap time than he otherwise would have, which, you know, forced everyone back, bought them some time. June now is 100%, so yeah, they give up that midpoint, but W did buy them a lot of time in that last play.
Such a big play from him, actually, just buying that time. Didn't manage to find anything, but because he played it so slow, it was realistically the best he was going to get. Coming up in that pain train, really big from him. Now it's Tiger's turn to see if he can find anything. Bombing forward just a little bit, but has to back out here. It's a nice little rocket onto Kunu, actually does decent damage. Fortunately, doesn't really make much more of him. He's just going to keep bombing on the point here. And tf2easy are feeling the pressure, but they're not really cracking, I say, as the bomb comes forwards here. But Haunts does not find anything. Instead now, just a singular soldier stack for CSG. They lose Haunts, and they lose really any hold they had of Alley here as well. They have to back off the mid.
Yeah, I didn't really like that sack. There wasn't enough presence in Valley to bait anyone forward. It ended up just being Haunts jumping at 2 scouts, and then June could easily just kite back into the shutter, so I don't see how that sack was ever meant to work. They really needed something coming from under, something coming from Valley to bait players out of position, otherwise, you know, it's just pain for Haunts.
It's pretty difficult to get a sack in, honestly. It feels like CSG were kind of going for the new Panzer-esque pressure cooker play, where they just keep pressuring for as long as possible until eventually, as we saw against New Panzer, tf2easy will just kind of snap and break. But unfortunately, CSG not able to find an opening. But Nubby finds a crucial one, bombs in, perfect instincts, Condog. Josh finds the follow-up here on Fancy as well, and this is a massive opening for tf2easy. Such a huge bomb from Nubby.
There's a super long-range spam rocket as well from Josh to follow up on Nubby's damage to kill Fancy as well. You know, it would have been nice having that drop and having that Uber to push, but with a demo down as well, they don't have to worry about sticky traps, they don't have to worry about any resistance at all on mid, and it's going to be a chunky Uber advantage to move to second and potentially last as well if they're going to move on.
Yeah, they can go this really quick, and honestly, on Metalworks especially, you want to take as much space as quickly as possible. Really gets hard for them to actually push into last. It is doable with an Uber ad, but look at Condor. He's already 70%. 60 rather. I say that. Haunts. He's on Putis. He's sitting in forward spawn. He isn't. Nobody's checked the door. He's going to come out. It's going to be so cool. Instead, he's just AFK. He's going to shoot the scout. No. All right, finally he does it, but he doesn't block anything. The scout just runs back. He just has to go all the way back to last as the Uber's popped in at a TF2 easy to get the sentry gun down, but so is Condog. Now the counter comes out of Condog, and the counter kills are being found as well. 3 down already. Kunu, Josh, but also June, crucially, gets caught out. Doesn't have any teammate to run her out at all. So instead, now TF2 easy. They're finding themselves on the back foot. 3 players down. No medic. This is CSG's second to take.
Really nice elastic counter Uber coming out, just fully punishing the overextension. They almost miscounting, you'd have to say, from TF2 easy. I don't think they were expecting an Uber to come out of Condog just yet, and they were definitely viciously punished for it. There's now an opportunity for CSG to walk their way in there, taking their time though. They have a slight advantage to work with, but they've kind of shown their hand of where they're positioned from before that Uber comes up.
It just comes straight in here onto Fancy, and there's a kill onto Kunu as well. But 1 kill, I say that, never mind. Really nice shot there out of Tiger to send Josh into the respawn queue as well. Now Nubby, sole man behind as he bombs onto point, hits such a big rocket onto Loop, but doesn't find the frag. Instead, he's still stuck behind, but he's just delaying as long as possible. Make the space for the rest of his team that now have ad.
Yeah, they talked about being fearful of Nubby, and yeah, he can just now sit behind, cut off any potential exit. The Uber is coming in. Condog has been able to slip out of main. They've just about kept track of where Nubby is. They've actually killed him as well as Mirage, so now an opportunity to move forward with those 2 picks with an advantage. The Uber's not up just yet, but you know, with no cap time on mid, it's very, very much back momentum-wise back to CSG.
Yeah, Ubers are just being ping-ponged back and forth here. It's Josh and Tiger both opting for the higher bomb at the same time, but neither one really finding anything. Josh goes in, just immediately taken down. Almost gets the kill onto Nasboy, but he just survives for now. It's Ams getting really aggressive into the lobby, but Condog now has Uber charge. Second is being capped up by Loopy here. Will be joining his team shortly. As Gun level 1 is up in a corner. It's actually Fancy getting taken down by Nubby here, not in the Uber, and the cap time is huge here, but Ams has to get flashed. Nasboy does not drop down, but the collapse comes forwards. Tiger does so much damage, but Ams, he can't follow it up. It's 3 members for TF2 easy holding on to the point. They're all so low, but they're holding on.
Oh, really strange stuff from CSG. Ams walked on the point, he got flashed immediately by Condog. Ended up being basically the whole Uber was just used to block their own gap onto last. TF2 easy weren't baited into blocking, you know, super early in the push. They didn't bait any of those soldiers out, so they didn't get any of those kills, and you know, eventually the collapse came in for the side of CSG, but it wasn't enough because they'd wasted so much of the Uber.
Josh once again tries to go for the high bomb, but he's just denied by the stickies of Fancy here. Fancy's so far forwards, but he just stays alive, and now it's Nasboy instead. Wants to go in, wants to find something, make something happen, but he just doesn't find it. Instead, he's going down himself. Josh stuck in a corner, TF2 easy. Yes, they're holding on to second for now. They found 2 kills in return, but with no demo man, it feels like CSG, they should be able to just slowly attrition their way onto the point. You can see Fancy doing just that with the stickies alone, with the scout behind him as well. They've taken control of second here. Is Josh going down, trying to aggress forwards, but CSG comfortably take this.
Yeah, I don't quite know how that worked out. It looked like they were just a bit fearful, CSG. They had the double scout, but Josh was really weak, and they still didn't have Nasboy up at that time, so their spam was not in a great position for them to hold on to second. They've had to give it up now. Opportunity for CSG to move in through this far right side.
They're trying to peek, poke, and prod right now. No off-classes for them just yet. I'm assuming we're just going to find some sort of attack here out of Tiger, maybe a Haunt as well, as TF2 easy just set up on last. CSG right now, they still had a little bit of an opportunity to go super fast, I think, before the heavy was really set up, but now you're giving Kunu time to set up the gun. Instead, it's 2 soldiers bombing in, but the heavy does so much work denying them. They find absolutely nothing. Loopy wants to go under the point. Abs is just in as well. Finds a heavy kill, but nothing more. Second in 3 for 1 heavy. This could be an angle for TF2 easy to push forwards, and it looks like they're doing just that. They're walking onto second here. They want to take this space.
Yeah, I wonder if they thought that June would be further out, more kind of standard position, but they were so deep that the sack was going to be difficult. But Josh actually jumps up Does get the force out by just shooting Fancy, disconnecting him from the rest of the combo. He's probably going to go down the flank here, but he has got that force out. Being used out, June in return, but they really haven't found much, so with one player down, they're going to have to go back to last.
They just have to run back to last here. Honestly, they're down one player, and Josh, CSG are looking to get aggressive, but Josh is going to come back up right now. Looks like Tiger just bombing in instead. This heavy do so much work denying. And it's just Condog being found by Nubby on the flank, but in the meantime, the point is being dropped so low, and June has to dance and jive away from this Horns, who's just in onto her, gets that frag as well. Nestboy has to get out the dagger there, keeping his team in the round. CSG commit so hard onto that. Condog dropping, the return kill onto June is found, but just barely.
They commit super hard, but they, you know, some of them were going for the points, some of them were going for the medic. They really weren't certain what they wanted to go for, and, you know, eventually they did kill June to equalize things out, but they lost an opportunity to actually win the round.
It felt like that was a ticket there. Condog stays alive, you get that medic kill. This is such a free round. Instead, tf2easy. They're walking forward into second. They are kind of paying the price for it at the moment. Fancy is so far forward. Oh my god, he's on the flank. There's no way. He just gets the kill onto Naspo as well. His combo's falling, but he's just behind. Condog just all alone right now. He's going to get cleaned up by Kuno eventually, I assume. There we go. More likely finding him. It's Fancy back on enemy mid here. He's going to have to jump forwards and actually get pow. How and why is he out?
I think they just didn't expect it. They didn't know about him being behind. They didn't expect an enemy demo would randomly be behind them. They weren't aware of it, and he was just able to freely jump out. That is a huge oversight there.
That was weird, but I mean, honestly, for tf2easy, you still feel just fine, right? June's sitting here. She's got 100%. Condog only has a 30. They can take the second, but absolutely free. There's no CSG contest at all, and tf2easy now setting up for this last push here. They've got an Uber charge. They're walking in straight through main here. 60% now for Condog. We're nearing the territory. You have to watch the Ubers a little bit, but it's popped out of tf2easy straight onto the sentry gun as Am's on heavy, but he's in spawn. He can't contest this point. Kuno just gets so much free cap time here as well. Bombs come forward, but they find a lot. They cannot give this point up for CSG, but Condog gets the Uber, but he doesn't have anyone to save with it. Now instead, he gets juggled off the point, and tf2easy claim the first round of the game.
Yeah, nicely done. Just moving through the left side, push everyone back into spawn, get their players on point. Nazboy managed to wiggle himself into a nice position where he could just sticky everything up. And as you said, they had to block the point. They got the Uber out, but had no players left.
No players left means that you just can't hold last. Kuno got so much cap time on that point as well. That heavy out of Ams in spawn doesn't really deny that much and let them get so much cap time early on. Weren't able to commit at all. We're back on the mid fight. You can see already Josh, super fast bomb here, takes down Pike but dies in return for it. So now, instead, tf2easy are postured pretty far forwards, but Haunt bombing all the way behind. Doesn't have a soldier to help him out though, and it's just so many more kills because Naspoy can walk across. No real denial onto him means that he'll just find Condog, he'll find Ams. Haunt is 3 HP, make it 103 on his owner pack there, but instead he's gonna get bombed out. Cleaned up here, tf2easy, they take the mid fight.
Yeah, Fancy just kind of losing himself in the source at the moment. Seems to be getting disconnected by the rest of his team. His scouts are really not operating in the same plane of existence as him at the moment. And he's just finding himself in these weird positions, stuck behind, jumping in, not able to do consistent damage onto the combo. And the morale Nick here just sitting so close to June, keeping her alive, keeping her protected at the moment. That is the dominant force in the game.
The Uber just comes straight in once again onto the gun here. Kuno now immediately once again rotating towards point, but this time around is a little bit more of a block here, but Nubby bombs in, does so much work. Kuno can just walk straight back onto the point. The bomb out of Nubby forces the focus of CSG back. Kuno capitalizes perfectly, and that is another very fast round for tf2easy.
Yeah, again, super clean. Just the double threat of the aggressive players pushing them fully back into spawn and the cap time at the same time is being played very, very nicely. Morale is not scared of the stickies on the point. He's well aware of when they're going to be dead, when he's going to be flashed. So at the moment, just very, very nice conversions from tf2easy.
Such a nice mid hit. This time around, Tiger just can't even play the game, man. He needs so much spam walking out of house. Josh, on his own, forces all of CSG back with his bomb as well. Tiger wants to go forwards, but doesn't really find anything. And now CSG, they find themselves on the back foot in Valley. They have no high ground to speak of at all. But they're looking to maybe make some sort of a contested. They're sending in Haunts across mid, but doesn't find anything. Nubby wants to maybe get creative onto Conlog, but doesn't find it. But look at this, CSG, they're recontesting a pipe onto June, puts it down so very low, and she just has to pop the Uber. Conlog now counter-popping out as Bill bombs forwards in onto enemy alley. Wants to get this kill onto Nasboy. He's 1v1ing him as Ams just sends it into house, finds a kill onto Kunu, finds it onto June, might even just clean up for the 1v3. In house, Ams on his own sends tf2easy all the way back to last.
A mid that definitely shouldn't have worked. They couldn't get a bomb going, they couldn't get anything going. But Ams just went full Matrix mode, couldn't get hit, just destroyed everyone. Nubby now on the spike. He's in a position, but people are ready for him. They're turned around and he is cleaned up.
They're just sending it right into last now. They don't even have Uber, but look at the damage on the heavy as well. Can't hold the point if you're 100 HP and around the corner. CSG off of a play out of Ams. Oh my god.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful stuff. I don't need to worry about converting a last push if you just move that fast. It ended up being a 6v5 very, very easily. Nicely done. Just utilising their ability to fully push off the pick that they had, and that was more than enough, made it a lot simpler.
CSG playing for their playoff dreams right now. One more round would tie them up with tf2easy. They need 3 to make it to playoffs guaranteed. This time around on mid, once again, the pressure onto the soldiers. Haunts just taken down, and it forces CSG so far back this time around. There is no mid recontest to be had. They're just right back to second.
Yeah, it's pretty one-sided mids at the moment for tf2easy. They're just finding so much space. There's so much freedom for Nasboy to just put pain down on everyone. I think he's starting to predict that they're going to be coming in.
Oh, no, he's just in. He just bombs in straight in onto Lobby. Gets 2. Jumps in through shutters. Gets 4 rockets. 2 onto Condog. 2 onto Haunt. And this opens the door for tf2easy. It's 100 ad. Condog probably will not be alive by the time tf2easy are pushing last.
Yeah, I think he went so high they just didn't see him until way too late. He got a lot of depth on that bomb. Now that Uber's coming in through the left-hand side, they're going to get rid of that sentry gun before it even goes up. Fancy's caught back in the corner as well. No cap up just yet. They're still sticking some point. Fancy actually survives with the help of an arrow from Corndog. So the aggression here from tf2easy is slowly dissipating. Nubby in a position, but the rest of them are going to back out.
Nubby hiding in on Lobby here is going to maybe attempt the back cap, but unluckily for him, rather, Loopy's just there to clean him up. Kunu wanted to go in. Unfortunately, just a little bit disconnected from the rest of his team. He got picked off, and that kind of sent tf2easy down that downward spiral of not being able to get that last point pushed successfully. Now instead, it's a 5-hole ad here, Dave, for Condog. Huge.
Yeah. I would assume they would know it's basically, but yeah, it looks like they're set up just to settle it down a minute. I mean, it's not, you know, it is a fail push for tf2easy on that last there, but 2-1 up and going into the last 10 minutes. Not the worst situation in the world. They have control mid as well, so they have more opportunities to suck in, as is on most maps. The mid to second is in the easier sack for soldiers. They have more space to do stuff from Valley, and the big difference is they won't know where June is, whereas tf2easy will have more of an idea where Corndog is, so they maybe not, because he's actually found a little spot on that little roof there.
How in the world did he get that, by the way? Nubby bombs in. He's actually so close to dying from the splash there. The spam. I got really worried there for a second. I mean, obviously it probably confused Nubby a little bit. How did you get that?
Do you jump on the little pipe there? I don't know, it looks like maybe you can do it with a...
Maybe he just surfed the rocket.
Didn't see it surf.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That almost went terribly as well, because he's standing up against a wall. It's actually really easy to splash him. It kind of only works to throw off the bomb. We saw Nubby do that. Almost get the round off of it last time. It's kind of switching up a little bit, but yeah, those rockets out of Josh were inches away from just killing him. Very scary.
I can see Connor trying to do it again. He's jumping on the pipe, and then you have to do a little strafe. It's not the easiest jump in the world. Nobody this time going in.
That was so scary. He goes out the door right as Navi bombs in. The timing is almost there. But instead, Condog survived with 80 HP, and the kill onto Nubby actually means the CSG aggression is coming out swinging here. They find a kill onto Nasboy. Decent start, but Josh is in behind. He's right by Condog. He gets 3 rockets onto all of them as the Uber now is popped from Condog, but with no real scout presence on mid. They have no high ground. Josh behind them as well, waiting for them to come back, let him straight into his arms. Gets the rest of his team forward. CSG, the Uber comes out. They don't find anything.
Yeah, smart play from Josh, just going in behind, waiting, making the way they probably wanted to back out through the full kind of alley area much more difficult. They had to end up going out until they did escape.
He's so nice with it.
But not for long, as Condog's down now.
He's so nice with it. Just goes for the nice little sink bomb. Goes in. 2 shots Condog. And that is 370-80 ad here for TF2Easy. Nubby's making it so difficult for them, isn't he?
He's pretty much carrying TF2Easy on his back right now. Every moment. They were right to fear him, I think. He is he's doing a ton of work, and as we say, 100% now. Back up for June. They're going to have this basically full ad to push last. There's a sentry gun set up, and there's a heavy, but we'll see how it goes.
Uber once again in onto Kunu here as a sentry gun taken down, but now actually Kunu falling down pretty much immediately. Fancy holds up once again, another kill here onto Nubby. This is 3 dead for TF2Easy. They get the kill on it to Condog, which I think is all they can really play for here, but with only 2 players up, Nasboy almost getting caught out there as well. CSG get to reclaim second. June has to stay alive, has to keep his Uber going. They want to stay in the round. Looks like she's managed to do so successfully. Spawns are up. TF2Easy rotating towards Valley. They haven't even charged the play for. There are still no heals for CSG on the second.
There's a really nice sticky variation from Fancy to have those stickies just on that little fence behind the sentry gun, so as soon as the sentry gun was taken out and the flash was off morale, he was able to pick him up with the trap. Most of its stickies up until that point had been on the point itself, and morale was aware of that. So nice little change up, but a good salvage, and with them killing Condog, they now have an advantage to push again.
They are now just facing once more CSG. It's a full Uber ad push out of TF2Easy, and this time they swap around the sides. Immediately find a kill onto Fancy Elfair, but Nubby and Nasboy taken down by Tiger and Horns, and they just once again, they don't have any space to come forwards, and also Condog has lived, which means that now he's a big advantage. No Demo Man is alive for either team, but CSG are looking maybe getting a little bit adventurous here into lobby, trying to peek into second, and TF2Easy, they're staying in. They want to make this a brawl.
Yeah, a couple of fail pushes with that same attempted push that worked the first 2 times round when they changed it up.
He's just on spy. He just goes in, takes down Condog. They lose 2 in the counterfight though as well. Nubby going down, so is Josh. But TF2Easy, they run back with a tail between their legs. Nubby heads up play. How many times is he able to catch out Condog?
It's been a lot so far. Tiger now is in position. He's able to sneak in and get Nasboy, and with 3 down, TF2Easy. They're actually they're big dick and they're staying on mid here with just the double scout chariot. And pressure coming in from Abs is going to get a very, very easy 4, so they were very desperate to pop that as soon as possible. Condog's nice and far back. They got a couple of frags while that was happening, but with Nubby going down as well, it's not the best situation. But to be honest, with that force coming in so quickly, Condog doesn't even have an advantage to use.
I feel like CSG, honestly, I don't think they realize it, but they're actually in a really bad spot. TF2Easy, had they just pushed through house with no soldiers, both of them in alley, Tiger weak as well, waiting for Condog to hit that arrow, meant that they were just not there to hold. Instead, now the soldier's going to bump forwards here onto lower, and they're not finding anything. A singular kill onto Moralexi, more than fine for TF2Easy, who now send in Josh. They send in Ihor onto Condog, and the flank of TF2Easy is running CSG. Nubby's still on spy.
Yeah,
He's just running around.
He went on spy there, but
there's no way he spawn camps.
The rest of his game is went on a flank.
This guy is not normally, man. Someone check him's PC. Like, no, but like he gets spotted now, right?
I thought for a sec Oh my god. The history doesn't repeat itself. He got something crazy against Full Fence the other week, but not this time.
In chat.
Yeah.
Oh, God bless.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
He's not going to be caught out in the same way. But either way, Jude has a big advantage. They've been able to capture second now as well with that time that's been bought. They've got a level 1 sentry gun up, but that's about it for the defense. Sickies this time are on point. We'll see whether tf2easy want to go from the far right again or whether they're going to go back to the tried and trusted left side push.
They're going to have to make a decision rather quick if they want to push this. Condog 90% Uber now. And it means, honestly, it looks like tf2easy just opted out of the push. Instead, they're setting up on second. We have to actually, we've been so focused on the game, you have to look at the round timer at this point, right? Rather than map timer. It's 2 minutes, 45 seconds here for CSG. They're down around tf2easy. They know pushing out of Metalworks last is really not that easy. But CSG are kind of in a position they have to push.
Yeah, and with, you know, what was that, 3 fail pushes in a row, it perhaps makes sense for them just to settle down on second. It means that CSG are going to have to find something. The thing they've turned to here is going to be the loopy spy, but the moment he can't even get in, he's trying to go into this main choke, does get himself into this second point eventually, but he's not in an ideal position to go for anything right yet.
He's just kind of scouting out, seeing where the angle is now spam being sent across onto June as well. Still, it's very tense for both teams. Doesn't have that much time, realistically, honestly, to make this play happen. If CSG want to get all 3 points here, they need this round, and they need another follow-up round as well, all within the next minute and 45 seconds here. You can see the pressure coming forwards here on tf2easy as Loopy is still just not in position. He has to play this so far back. Now the spy comes across, but unfortunately just a butter knife face stab onto Nasboy and doesn't find anything. There's a little bit of ground conceded by tf2easy, but they're immediately back onto it. The spy play does not work, and CSG, honestly, they might just have to send it forward. This is a classic AMS solo Uber coming in and is not finding pretty much anything at all. They all the way back into lobby. tf2easy pop the counter Uber. They keep all their players alive. They keep sitting on second.
Yeah, he spent close to a full minute going for that spy play loopy and just not finding any connection with the stab itself. They're gonna have to hold it close. Nasboy's committing. He does trade out for abs. They get the loopy frag as well, so Nubby's in prime position. He's actually gonna go fully for the backhand. There's no scouts, there's no one there to block. And there we go, the third round, and the game is decided.
Nubby's so good, man. We were talking about it. This guy's the one playmaker on the team. Do you need any more playmakers? If you have Nubby playing this well, how many times has he caught out CSG across the past 30 minutes? This is absolutely insane.
If every play works, you only need one playmaker, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, this is such a good map. I think, yeah, Nubby specifically. His team as well, sort of following up on it, but honestly, it feels like Nubby was just able to find so many not normally angles, able to get in and make something happen out of nothing. As someone rightfully points it out in the chat, he's been watching some Nutty Nuke demos, making some magic.
Absolutely. He's found some stuff. We were expecting him to have a big performance. He was called out by CSG themselves, but yeah, he's just got so many tricks up his sleeve. They expected it, but they weren't ready for it.
Yeah, this, I think, was one of those games of Metalworks where, yeah, we talked about it already. It really just came down to a little bit of a Roma diff, which is, I think, that I can count on a singular hand the amount of times I've ever had to say that in a game of competitive TF2. But with Nubby playing that well, it's pretty nice to see. I think overall, though, for CSG, signs of life, unfortunately, just not quite making it work in the long game.
Yeah, definitely some improvements. I don't know what, you know, obviously the big change-up was they lost a couple of rounds to very clean conversions for tf2easy, and then somehow found last holds that were a lot more effective towards the second end, the tail end of that game. So, you know, we talked about Fantasy changed a few things up. They obviously had a little bit more of a setup in those successful defenses, but I don't know how much is down to their adaptation or maybe tf2easy just dropping the ball towards the end.
Yeah, it kind of felt like they just kind of It probably should have been a 3-1 towards the end. They did have those few last pushes. It kind of beefed. Overall, it feels bad for CSG. I feel like you come away from that map feeling like you should have won it. I mean, JMax wanted to link us logs, and instead he just told us that logs were uploaded to logs.tf, and then said, so maybe they'll be on your screen, perhaps. Oh my god, there they are, guys. I just got a link to some logs. Let's see. All right. Can you imagine that no one got above 250? Actually, no, that's not true. No one got 300 DPM at all. Highest is Fancy with 272 damage per minute. Kills are irrelevant. I think the real one is that Nubby has 6 to kind of keep up with this. Obviously, product not as Roma-centric of a map traditionally.
Yeah, it's going to play out very differently to that game. That game was back and forth tug of war, then Nubby just finding Condog at important times. This product is going to come down to more committed team fights. It's going to be people throwing themselves in, fully committing. We're going to probably see wipes on both sides at various times. Which team can deal with the forward hold better as well will make a difference. Traditionally, it's been a very, very strong map for TF2Easy. But CSG picked it for a reason, and they have practiced it a lot this week. I think they kind of lost one scrim heavily to Witness, but other than that, they've had very, very good results on it. So maybe they know something we don't.
Maybe there's tech. I think, you know what I think the tech is for CSG on product?
What's that?
I think the tech is AMS is insane on this map, and I think that's the extent of my analysis. I think the last time AMS really played, we had a season where he played Roma for one last time, or Pocket rather, one last season. But then specifically on a product, they would run, I believe, Kunu on Perma Sniper, and then AMS would be back on Scout, and they would destroy in that map. I think that's the angle here for CSG. I think AMS was playing really well, obviously, on Metalworks. I think he's a big opener. Fancy as well. Seems to take it to Nasboy there. Outdamaged him, maybe. I don't know enough about Demoman. I think you guys have probably seen the clip of my Demoman expertise. Might not be the most expert Demoman player of all time, but I see the damage stats and they are bigger for Fancy.
Hey, if you can dunk on Papi, then maybe you should be playing Prem Demo. I did beat a
Prem player in a 1v1 though.
Exactly.
So if you haven't seen the clip, don't watch it. It's embarrassing.
But yeah, I think the demo fight will be pretty important. Fancy and Nasboy, on paper, I wouldn't say one stands out, but Nasboy's one of these players who I always feel is a little bit inconsistent. Sometimes he has amazing games. Sometimes he's kind of the reason his team loses. But so far this season, he has mostly been putting up decent showings, and maybe there's something there for Fancy to make a bit of a difference, but as you say, it might literally just come down to if AMS is hitting all his shots.
I think we also have to watch out for snipers out of both teams. I think Nubby, of course, really capable sniper, should he choose to go for it. I think specifically for TF2Easy on product. I think traditionally as well, even though Kuno is sort of the sniper main of all sniper mains at the moment in Prem, I think, honestly, for TF2Easy, it feels like they just prefer having him on Scout. It's kind of been a trend for him as a whole, playing in Prem. He prefers staying on that Scout. Letting Nubby snipe instead could be worse. Could be back in the day where you'd have Samsky playing sniper instead of Kunu. 07 for the OGs in the chat. But never mind, guys. We are live. Once again, it's map number 2, CSG. Never mind. Guys, we're being baited. I'm being trolled.
Big tricks. But yeah, it's sniper setup. We'll have to see. Maybe some Nubby sniper is something. Another bait is going to come out. So apparently 30 seconds and the game will get started. We aren't scamming you right now. Will be some action pretty soon.
No, but I had the start game button, but then I pressed it, but then I unpressed it, so I actually didn't start the game. So I'm pranking everyone. But I think maybe for real, we're actually live this time around. It's TF2Easy versus CSG. CSG They're playing for their Premiership lives. They have to lock 3 points to make sure that they make playoffs. Otherwise, they will be praying for the downfall of Fourth Fence when they play their game tomorrow. But we're on the middle, and Haunts is dead already. tf2easy are stuck back on Cliff, and they take a lot of damage. Really nice pipe out of Fancy. Manages to blind Naspoid. Josh dead behind as well, and this is aggression shut down for tf2easy. They have no position on a middle at all. They're going to take high ground on Cliff, wait for the players to come back, but it's CSG with immediate control of point.
I think this is possibly the main idea for them, just find a lot of space for Fancy. Fancy, you know, holding W into them. He's going aggressive now. Everyone is committed deep onto this cliff. They get Jude really, really low. I think Jude even got Uber there. Oh no, Condog just about got it. Jude is taken out, and it's basically a wipe if W goes down. He does get the foresight though.
That rocket was so close. He knocked Condog up into the air, and I think Condog just pussy popped a little bit. And unfortunately, that rocket out of Nubby. He's been killed by that man a little bit too many times in the previous map. Instead, now it's a good job of coming out of Naspoy instead, but it is. Even Uber's here. CSG had a little bit more time to set up on points, so instead now it's both teams. We're right back to another mid-fight, even Uber's. But the bombs come forwards here, and it's so far, it's just Loopy being taken down here. Both soldiers of CSG drawn back here by just one singular player as TF2 go all the way back. And once again, we're just resetting neither team. It's even Ubers, but CSG, they're the ones running down the clock. They've taken a minute off of this already.
Yeah, Tiger did a great job to get out cliff to cliff there. It was really important because Loopy had gone down in the meantime. It's meant that tf2easy aren't even pushing it in, but this time Tiger's committing. He's going to be picked up by the double scouts, shooting him out in the air. Josh finds some space up around the Duckwood area. They've actually led a lot of players. Condog is very, very low, but will be able to escape back to spawn.
Running back to spawn here, keeping Condog alive, just waiting for AMS. But this is giving tf2easy so much ground as well. They can really delay. They don't have to find any kills with this forward ult. They can just sit back, get some spam out, make it take as long as possible here for CSG to break this forward hold. It's going to be Loopy up on the Pyro to try and make these air blasts happen. But so far, immediately spammed down a little bit. Instead, it's an angle straight for CSG. They bust into the cliff and they find their opening. The trade happens for the roamers on the flank as Nubby just about straight out of a crazy air shot, which is sad for him and sad for us. Instead, Uber's traded out on point here, and it's Kunu running straight forward with the solo Uber. Hams there in return as well, but Kunu just stays alive for all of it. Ubers have now been traded out. We're back where we started. This is another mid-fight, baby.
Yeah, interesting to see Nasboy having to stick his cord for him. Not working out this time, but this time double soldier bombs in the air. Ooh. They're going to land on the CSG combo, and they're not really sure where to go. Conduct very, very, very low. 20 health he's down to, but doesn't matter because there's no one there to finish up. Nikki running back with Jude. Going to get Jude out of there, but it's actually going to shake out decently for CSG taking the point.
They're just right back in it now. Condog, I don't know how it stayed alive there, but tf2easy and just aggressing once again. And CSG, they don't have that much position. They're relying here on the Tiger Bomb forward to try and make space happen. In the meantime, it's Hawks bombing forwards as well. So much damage dealt to June, but she just stays alive. Instead, it's the kill onto Nasboy. Josh dies as well. And tf2easy, they're not coming out on top of these DM fights. And CSG instead running them back to their cliff. They have Uber now, but with no demo, no soldiers up, it feels like they can't really take this fight.
Yeah, Hawks just body blocked and had to get in the air, but was still able to get so much damage down onto the tf2easy side. They're going to just take the Uber out, trade it out. It's going to be mostly onto morale. Not too much flashing from either side, but it's going to settle down with Nubby and Nikki trying to break through this flank area. Hawks is able to jump out of there, but Josh is able to launch himself in, kills Fancy. Nikki is still in the backline. CSG are able to back out. Nikki is able to get himself out as well, and at the end of the day it was just enough for tf2easy to muscle themselves onto the point.
Yep, trying to make their way back onto this point. It's still even Uber. Somehow, some way, neither team has ever been able to successfully have an overcharge advantage for more than a couple seconds at a time. But at the moment, it's just tf2easy holding on to this point. 30 seconds right now for CSG on the clock, and they're going to start amping up the pressure once again. The bomb now coming out of Nubby straight onto Condog, shoots him up into the air, but Condog doing such a good job of dodging around. His rocket goes into main. Condog stays alive, but in the meantime, CSG try to get cute, try to get aggressive, but they don't find the kills. This time around, CSG They don't make it happen. TF2easy are on the front foot. They keep control of the point. It's a minute left for them.
Yeah, really nice just individual play for Kodok to survive the absolute menace that was Nubby coming down on him. But June is kept alive by her team a lot better. They're going to trade it out here. A lot of flashing coming out from Kodok. Going to be a slightly longer Uber for TF2easy, and Morale in a position to pounce. Nubby now is going to jump in behind. Nasboy is cleaned up as well, but Nicky is still on a bit of a tear, picking up Tiger. Both soldiers behind cleaned up actually very, very quickly there by the loopy Abs combo, and they want more. They want Nicky, they want June as well, who's very, very low. Isn't going to be able to escape to spawn if Abs commits.
Abs is just running forwards and he finds the kill onto June and combines it for another one. Just gets the kill onto Nasboy at the end. A nice little bonus frag there. And that is so big for CSG. It's 10 seconds left for TF2easy, but they don't have that medic. It's 1 AMS down for CSG, 10 seconds. Now, timing it down for CSG. This first round coming down to the wire. AMS is so much prestige as this fight is right back on the way. It's TF2easy. They cannot afford to let this go. Instead, the soldiers bombing forwards do so much damage. Immediate kill onto Fancy, trade kill onto Josh, but that is a demo man up for TF2easy. Uber now coming out of Condor. Only 50% for June as Nasboy is clean up. TF2easy, all they have to do is stack, capture this point. TF2easy, you have to get back on the point. Nubby's bombing in, wants to get so much done and does find a lot of damage, but no kills are being happening. So far, Evil wants to clean it up, doesn't get it, and in the end, Josh is up in spawn, does not manage to find it, and it is 1-0 for CSG.
Really smartly played by CSG, just backing up, kiting away the aggression, knowing that their win condition was getting that Uber up for Corndog. He still had 20% to build. They gave up position on the point, but they got the Uber up, and it was more than enough.
It's more than enough this time around. We're back onto mid here. Small aggression comes out, but really it's Nubby and Josh going forward. But they take so long, and in the meantime, Tiger and Haunts, they combine, they find the kill on to Nasboy as well. But it's even. It's 2 scouts versus 2 scouts and a medic. Let's go. It's all DM men. So far, it's the blue scouts coming out on top. Kunu wins the fight. Ehol follows up with the second one onto AMS. It's Kondok staying alive. Luckily for him, it's a Haunts to save him. And it's even Ubers once again. No scouts up for CSG. They're going to have to delay a little bit, but they are looking to come right back onto the point.
DM and focus fire from Nick and Morale there. They had absolutely no fear. It was a straight 50-50 fight, but it didn't look it because their focus fire was on point.
Such a nice focus fire there. They're going to have to step up. We are on the scout map of all the scout maps. Ubers are traded once again. It's on to Kunu taking the solo. It's Fancy taking the one in return. AMS just gets a little bit of a flash, and now the counter aggression comes out. So much damage is dealt to TF2easy as June drops all the way down to 0 HP. Josh wants to go in for the salvage, and the follow-up is there. Out of Nicky, just barely gets the kill onto Kondog. It's Nasboy in behind, and he hasn't found any frags at all. Nubby with a huge rocket there onto Fancy towards the end. Finds that kill onto the enemy demo man. But it's just not enough. Kondog is up once again.
Yeah, they delayed that spawn. They're going to delay it for Fancy as well. They will cap it out. It's a solid minute off the clock for TF2easy. They're now trying to walk back and just trying to walk straight back in before the heals are even up. And it's going to be another messy fight. Tiger jumping in, trying to pin Josh back in the cliff area, but they've eaten a lot of spam here. CSG, they have position on the point, but are going to have to back up because their health is minimal.
The health is so low here, they can't really fight this, and now they're down 2 soldiers. 1 trade kill in return on to Nubby means the CSG, they're willing to make this happen, willing to go forwards, and somehow does not go down there, sitting around 10 HP a rock, but they are going to back off and now get their players back up, and now Nubby trying something different. It's coming up on Sniper. It is a little bit of advantage here for Kondog. Are they aware this Sniper can make so much happen so quickly here?
Yeah, Nubby finds a shot to Kondog just as he came up on the Uber. They're now going to send everyone forward. They're going to find Nubby. AMS is going to chase as well, but June is really far back. Loopy's going to get 1 kill onto Nicky, but see June and Morale safely, safely back on cliff.
Yep, Nasboy in the chat calling CSG bots for bombing him. Which is it's funny. That That kill out of Nubby as well. It feels like, honestly, Connacht had time to play around that as well. No, they've definitely seen that sniper onto China, but Nubby managing to find that shot anyway. Now he's back on sniper, and CSG have to adapt. We see how much more safe they're playing. They have to be careful of all of these angles that Nubby can take. Make sure to keep their medic, their players alive, just in general. This sniper can make it so tricky to get in. The Demo Man bomb comes forward, but the denial is already there, but they get the fourth. That's all they really want. They can lose everyone here, because Connacht's back in spawn. He's going to be 100% by the time the rest of his players are alive.
Yeah, he's obviously feeling himself on sniper, but to slightly reduce their just kind of fragging power in that kind of defensive sack attempt scenario. It did mean there were essentially a bit of spam down, and the sack came in. They knew they either had to get a force onto the med or a frag onto the sniper, and they did get the force out there, CSG.
CSG now looking to push forward, looking to use their ad, but unfortunately it's Tiger falling down already. Kunu might get caught out here on Cliff, and not really with the rest of his team, but it's 2 frags. Nubby finds another kill onto Fancy, as he might finally get taken down here. It's Nikki going down, but no, the body shot denies Horns the momentum. He can't go forwards and capitalize off of it. Instead is Nubby going back, swapping off the sniper. It has been countered, and June 70% overcharge of her own, looking to push right back in with this ad. Look at Josh. He's just in behind. He's in on enemy China. He can walk forwards. No one knows he's there. He just drops down like a knight. He finds Condog, and just completely uncontested. He's back on Cliff. Opens the door for tf2easy to walk across on point. Josh finally cleaned up, but it makes it so much harder for CSG to stay into this. There's only 25 seconds left.
They call it the Major, but that was more like the assassin. He waited behind an awful long time, staying hidden, making sure he wasn't peeking out, just peeking through that window now and then, but wasn't spotted, and finds a crucial play at an important time.
CSG are pushing in. They have to somehow make this trade happen without an overcharge of their own. And Condog taking down Tiger as well. He's not alive, and it's just 2 seconds left on the point. CSG members are swarming onto the point now. It's Bill and also Horns onto it. Amp wants to go forwards as well, but his kills coming across on from tf2easy. They're fine. They clean up the members of CSG. They make it 1-1. The sniper play out of Nubby sends confusion into the ranks of CSG. They stay right back in it. They make it 1-1. Make it hard for CSG to take these 3 points.
Yeah, they just look a little bit discombobulated at the moment. There are some good all-in sack plays from CSG, but at the moment just not really converting all the damage in sync onto that, particularly that combo area, into June.
Nubby already up on the sniper, immediately finds the headshot onto Fancy. It's a scout running forwards onto him, which just gets body shot down as well. Loopy not able to find anything. I feel like you want to brace the sniper there. I'm going to be honest, Tiger went down immediately on that middle. Really felt like tf2easy just had the read for how to counter that CSG mid.
Yeah, this time Tiger's managed to bust himself out, so there's not going to be a forward hold. Condog is a little bit behind on the building because he was separated for quite a long time, but I don't know if either team will be fully aware of that. Big bomb incoming from Tiger is going to kill Nubby, but the Uber's used out. They are aware of the advantage. They are going to convert it. They're even going to hide in almost in their opponent's spawn as the last couple of stragglers are I'm going to say clean up. Fancy goes down, Loopy goes down. Eventually they get all the frags and can just go back to mid with an advantage still in hand.
It seems like somehow, some way, not even that Nubby necessarily is doing a ton of damage, just the body shots onto the soldiers, denying them that bombing momentum. Tiger, instead of bombing in onto June, has to bomb the sniper instead, settle for that consolation prize, and it makes it so much easier for the rest of CSG not to go in, for tf2easy to just deny them. Right now, once again, the forward hold is broken here much more easily now that Nubby not on soldier to support Josh. He goes down. And Condog, he's only at a 20% disadvantage here. Nubby could just sit right back up on China, and once again, all eyes on him to deny the enemy aggression.
This time they're going back, absorbing the aggression. They're going to use the Uber out, but Condog probably won't be caught this time. But Ams has had to commit. It's really, really low. They do chase for him. They were uncertain whether they were fully backing out or whether they were splitting. Condog is cleaned up. They're quite in a slightly awkward position now with their opponent's spawn. Tiger jumps in, gets a ton of damage done onto Morale, but he's able to get arrowed up and they're going to sneak out of here.
This is daylight robbery. It must feel like the tf2easy. Ams wants none of it. Just runs in and gets the kill to Josh. But honestly, that was so weird. tf2easy, they keep finding this weird escape angle in onto main. And it feels like, honestly, CSG feel like they should not be getting away with it. And so in response, they try to overcommit. You could. Honestly, it feels like just wait for your spawns. Wait for the enemy to flank them from both sides. They're stuck in your main. So good, but they have yet to find a realistic answer to the sniper. Yes, the sniper is dealt with, but tf2easy are using that space created by the soldiers bombing the sniper and not the medic. Such great success here.
Yeah, this time the Uber advantage is much, much larger. Abs takes so much damage, he's going to have to wait for an hour. He does get it, but Tiger's actually able to jump in. They do get the force, but again, Nazboy is launching himself forward. Morale is there to chase. Condog is low, he's diving away. Fancy not really in a position to clean up. Abs is going to go for a desperate last attempt from June. Tiger jumping in as well. June's so low, and Loopy's in the back lines as well, and is able to take out June as she tried to wiggle out of there.
Such a messy fight from both teams, honestly. So disconnected as well. Everyone kind of up to their own shenanigans. Nubby was spending entire time hiding in the power spot, just in the corner, waiting for someone to like go in and get headshot and do the funny I am Brazil play, but instead finally gets taken down by Tiger. Now with the sniper down, 4CG might just be a little breath of relief here, little moment of respite, as they now are sitting pretty on a nice little advantage. Tiger wants to go in, wants to make it more. So does Fancy, but his kill's coming across, and it's not for the red team. Instead, E4 runs in, bosses on the enemy combo, takes down Condog. Fancy follows him as well. Am's the only red member alive. It's looking so good. And then they go in a little bit too aggressive, and that is CSG. It feels like that's just a round. It's 2 seconds left, and tf2easy dominant on round number 3.
Yeah, crazy stuff. They did make a last-ditch play onto June, but even that salvage doesn't really matter, because with the lack of time on the clock, they had to win the fight, and the aggression wasn't enough. The just death blob, the defensive death blob from CSG is a sight to behold.
Counter sniper seems to be the angle out of Loopy here, as Nubby is still just staying on the sniper. It worked for them so well that last time, and I have to see if Loopy can step up to the challenge of Nubby, one of the premier snipers we have here in Europe at the moment. Just slowly scoping. You see neither sniper really peeking all that aggressively, because the two snipers, both of the teams are playing so much more passively there. The snipers meet, their sights collide, but neither of them finds the closing headshot. It is a lot of damage onto Loopy there, but just manages to barely survive the headshot out of Nubby. You can see the spam is exchanged across, and finally it's a singular kill here onto Kunu. Nubby now as well is actually pretty low. Can't really engage that far forward. There's a sniper onto the point, and Nastboy might even get caught out here onto Cliff. He needs to jump, but fortunately for him, there's no follow-up. Instead, it's Loopy winning the sniper duel, and in this puts tf2easy so far back. They don't have any aggression here onto CSG.
Yeah, that was almost a Highlander style mid, just played fully for the sniper versus sniper. Tiger has now swapped over to Scout himself, so we're going to see him return to, I wouldn't say his roots, but perhaps where he's best known as an impact class with the scatter gun. Uber's going to be used straight out from tf2easy here, but Condog is able to milk for an absolute age. They're able to clean up morale. They're able to launch themselves forward. June is quite low as well, but Fancy might have overcommitted here. Nicky's able to finish him off, but June has been chased out by Ams.
Ams runs in and takes down June, and in the meantime, Tiger's back on the class. We've seen this guy boss it up on Scout before. I've said this a couple times, kind of jokingly, that CSG are like one roster move away from Ams and Tiger Scout combo. We're seeing it right now, and I think this might be the final form of CSG. Ams, Tiger Scout on a product. This is where it gets scary for tf2easy. These guys are both so powerful.
Yeah, and if Loopy is able to win the SVS, which he isn't this time, morale is swapped over to the sniper. So class changes all over the place at the moment. Seeing Fancy is gonna just put some pain down, but morale hits another big headshot onto Hordes, and that's 2 down now for CSG. They're continuing to press the issue, though. They've been able to push tf2easy fully back, and the cap doesn't even come in. They've bought so much time already.
Uber comes forwards now. They have to get this immediately onto June. You can see her dropping fairly low, but she's just in main, trying to survive, and she does go down, but it's trading Connor here for it. Now Kuno managing to body shot down Ams. This is not the fight the CSG wants. Yes, they've got a lot of cap time here, but it feels like it should just eventually become a wipe here as tf2easy. They managed to take control. The Nubby sniper fails, loses the sniper versus sniper. Let's get the Highlander main and instead makes it work. CSG, that headshot, the air headshot on two Haunts there shuts down so much CSG aggression, and it lets tf2easy stay in for a little bit longer.
And crucially, Condor had no escape, so they just felt they had to do the Uber. But this time, Luke B is able to win the SVS onto Morale. Tiger is picked up by, I assume, a sticky trap, but there we go. Condor down, but Loopy's continuing to pop heads. That's an insane one onto Nasboy.
What is he doing? Some of that is not normally. Check him's PC. Oh my god. Oh, two close range headshots just like that.
And June somehow with no health able to win a 1v1 against Haunts and get out.
No, but like that was insane. I actually don't even think that was on the stream. You guys have no idea. That was so crazy. This guy just keeps going. This guy's cheating now, honestly. I can't say that as a broadcast to someone might actually think I'm being serious. No, this guy's owning right now, and he's doing such a good job of shutting down tf2easy. You like the sniper? We'll just run it one better. He's hitting all of the shots as now the bomb comes in. The Uber is popped straight in. It's actually a kill onto Fancy, and Loopy might finally get taken down here. As well, it is a kill onto the sniper that has been delaying tf2easy for so long. But the counter kills come out crucially. Connor is alive. He's 80%.
Yeah, just gonna delay. Oh, they delay Morale. Actually, they didn't time that correctly at all. His spawn is not gonna be up. Nicky is gonna play the pocket scout for just a moment, but as you say, big Uber advantage for Condog. Only 10 seconds here for CSG to convert the round.
10 seconds. It all that remains between CSG. They have to get this round. They want to stay in it. The opening kill onto Nasboy is huge as now the Ubers pop straight out of Condog. But this is actually so much distance they have to cover. Nubby's in the backline and he's found a kill onto Tiger. Now the CSG position is just not there on mid. They lose both their scouts. Condog is dead. And this Uber advantage push is an absolute disaster. Haunts, the only one in, tries to salvage it onto June, but doesn't find it. Now tf2easy, they're in such a good spot to hold on to this forward hold here and just run down the clock. A minute for them. Oh my god, never mind. June gets taken down because Loopy's on a different planet right now. Such a nice body shot there as well. Josh, once again onto Condog, doesn't find it. How is Loopy hitting everything?
I have to say, slightly strange position from June there. It seemed they weren't certain exactly how they were doing the forward hold. This time Nasboy was up on Cliff along with Josh, but Loopy finds June again.
Stop. Alright, it was funny, but now it's like kind of ridiculous. Condog actually is taken down by Nasboy, but they sack into so many members here to tf2easy. It's only 9 seconds. You can see Josh, he doesn't really have time to not just pop the point. And the aggression's coming out now of Haunt and of Ams as well. Just try and clean up the soldier. It does take him down. The sniper of Loopy does Nas one better. Hard carry CSG to match point here. They just need one round to lock in playoffs, and tf2easy need an answer to this Loopy sniper who is destroying them.
Yeah, we got all hyped for the Tiger Scout, but that wasn't the main deal. It was this Loopy sniper that was pretty big. He's going to stick with it as he's absolutely right. A big bomb from Nubby, but doesn't quite find the air shot. Millimeters away from Condog's head, but he is so low, having to hide behind the house as all the aggression goes in. Nasboy fully commits across the point. Morale wants to clean up on the damage that Nasboy has dealt, but he's got no other support. Nicky finally comes into the fight, does get the one frag, but Condog is going to reign supreme with the advantage.
Condog has the advantage. Nubby is up on the spy here to try and make something happen. He managed to get the stab onto Condog in round number 1. Maybe the chaos of product is exactly what he needs. Nubby just has to be careful. He's sitting in a corner. He's right next to Condog. He's standing on him. He uncloses the butter knife. It manages to force out the Uber. And now tf2easy, they're walking so far back.
Oh my god, just the fear from Condog. He saw the spy in front of him. He was 130 health, but he pops just out of either fear or respect. Either way, the force is coming. Jude's not going to be up at the Uber just yet, and Loopy is still on that annoying sharp shooting class, playing from the concrete area at the moment. They've actually spammed them out really well, so space now for tf2easy to get forward, but just to walk into stickies.
Fancy does so much damage. Nass is now dead as well. You see, Josh just sends it forwards, tries to get that kill onto the demo map, but doesn't find it at all. Instead, it's CSG. They're reigning supreme on this point here. Fancy Elf. Nice little log boost there. Such a good job. But it's still an ad here for June. It's actually coming straight in. CSG have to be careful. Have to walk right back because Condog only 90%. I say he now 100%. They're looking to just send this Uber straight through main. Uber popped immediately here. As now Loopy up on the sniper as well. But it's both CSG soldiers. They're gonna just honestly go down because Yeehor, Josh, and Nubby all get in behind. The bombs come forward. It's Yeehor in onto Condog, but Yeehor is low, and he just meets the statue, meets Socrates or Freud or whoever that man is, gets taken down. Condog instead takes the out, and now they want to recontest it on the point.
Socrates, it's Hippocrates.
It's a white guy in a statue, man. It could be anyone.
Either way, it's going to be CSG somehow getting themselves out of there. They only had 3 players alive. They had players in the backlines to deal with, but Loopy is back up, back in position, back to actually missing shots. He's starting to not hitting everything just as yet, but either way, large time advantage. June is going to use it straight away. They only have a very, very narrow advantage here. They're going to catch Fancy. Condog is able to get himself out onto the grass area. They do have an Uber to use back in. It's going to be onto Abs.
Ams straight away takes down June, but in the counter Uber as well, the rest of tf2easy just run away with all the other frags. It's just the Ams and Condog duo alive here, and they have to run back to spawn, get the rest of the players up because this Uber was used. Nothing else was found. June died so early on. It's actually just complete even Ubers. Loopy is having such a big impact last game. It seems like this time around tf2easy have found a way to kind of neutralize his impact a little bit more. He's not hitting the same shots he was, not finding the same angles. Instead, the soldier aggression for tf2easy has to come in hot, but Tiger denies Nubby. Now with Josh going down, trade kill onto Ams. Kunu wants to get in onto Condog, but the pipes out of Fancy Elf keeps his medic alive. Nasboy is taken down as well, and that is disaster for tf2easy. They cannot realistically afford that many more sack waves. June might stay alive here, just barely. Jumpy wants this kill onto Fancy, but doesn't get him. Tiger cleans him up. CSG, they might have found the answer.
Oh my god, Tiger is starting to warm up as well a little bit. Just they really, you know, they're forcing tf2easy to just go for these desperate double bomb, desperate full aggression and absorbing it very, very nicely. Fancy a Tiger, especially. Another phase now with basically even Ubers coming up now for June. They're going to try and walk across. Nubby's in behind. He gets Tiger. Loopy taken out as well as the Ubers are traded out. It's going to be a longer Uber for Condog, but not enough at the high ground position for the double scout combo of Nikki and Morale. They're able to clean up Abs, and they're going to be able to walk back to the point, but they don't have too much time to work with.
They have a whole minute and 40 seconds where CSG only have 9 in order to take this map. Tiger does Tiger things! He just runs in and fights 2 out of nowhere. It's like he never left. Nubby wants to get on Condog, but he jumps into the tiniest corner. Manages to stay alive. CSG firing on every cylinder. They take the fight. And now they're back onto point. tf2easy wiped off the board.
Wow, and as you say, just 9 seconds left for tf2easy to walk back in. They've got 4 players up. They're trying to walk in. Loopy hasn't found too much, but Fancy gets the frag onto Morale. Naswe taken out by Abs as well. A jump onto a point by Horns is going to potentially clean up, but it's still quite messy.
Oh my God.
There's still Nubby. He's low. He's going to get SMG down.
Loopy, the final kills of the final round of the final game of CSG's regular season, manages to lock them into the playoffs. They take the crucial 3 points and they knock Forfence out. Forfence can no longer make it into the playoffs. They lock in 4th place. CSG, what a showing on product.
Wow, that was some intense stuff. That was some clutch stuff, you have to say, from CSG. They really needed those 3 points here. They wouldn't want to have gone down to the game tomorrow relying on Mac to do them a favour. So they just found a way. They were almost baited into it. It was, of course, Nubby going sniper first changed kind of the direction of play. It looked like it was all going tf2easy's way. But then the change up from Loopy, the Tiger going onto the Scout, seemed to find some energy, and tf2easy didn't have as good answers to the enemy sniper. The counter sniper wasn't really working. The double soldier aggression they tried to go in the later phase of the game really didn't work, and CSG overcame it somehow.
Tiger was a nice little 300 DPM showing, kind of like he never left. Nice little 30 bomb as well. I mean, honestly, you look at Mickey's logs, he goes 38 for 15, still loses. It's just kind of one of those games, but Loopy, man, such a big deal on that sniper. Had such a big performance. That entire 4th round there was really just all him keeping his team in the game. That was crazy. The setup, the secret tech. Just put Loopy on sniper, get Tiger back on scout, have him run in again, as always, randomly kill 2 people out of nowhere. That's a very scary combination. Looking potent. I am gonna be honest. Do they beat Witness Gaming on either Koth map? Probably not. That Witness Gaming product, we got to see it earlier this week, and it's absolutely terrifying. I would not recommend playing Witness on that map, but versus tf2easy, I think, is the other team that we kind of look at in the past to be the surefire, absolutely destroy every other team that's not called Witness Gaming on the product. To take a map off of them on product is such a big deal for these guys. Locking playoffs as well, so big for them.
Yeah,
good.
really, really
Gotta
nice
be feeling
stuff.
great.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Exactly when they needed it as well. Big stuff. And, we've got some games coming up tomorrow. It's going to be what would have been on paper the big one, I guess, tf2easy versus Witness. Now, probably doesn't even matter that much in terms of seeding. But either way, 2 of the top skilled teams to look out for tomorrow at 21:15.
I believe that pretty much the top 5 now of Prem should be pretty much locked, with Witness number 1, New Panzer number 2, with tf2easy dropping points tonight. They can no longer take 2nd seed, means that they are locked squarely in 3rd, and then of course CSG locked in 4th. It's going to be up to Forfence, see if they can maintain that 5th position, bar some crazy things happening tomorrow night as we slowly head towards playoffs. Crazy game tonight. Have more crazy games. As we said, the big one tomorrow, maybe. Might not be as big as we hoped, depending on the form that tf2easy find themselves. But hopefully, I think if you are tf2easy, if you're looking to take some losses, I think in the regular season is, obviously where you would rather take them, have something to build upon coming into playoffs. This is definitely not the last that we've seen of these guys. But, yep. Unless, Dave, you have some final shout-outs, I think we should head off to bed.
Shout out Cubone. Shout out Sensation.
All right, that's it. I'm shouting out my bed because I'm going there now.